Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you a quick intro video and a first part of a Let's Play of Castle Story. Now this game is in early alpha, so I'm going to be just showing you some general instructions. I have the sound in the game turned off. I'm going to turn it on very quickly. It's nothing special, it's mostly just crickets all the time. So here we are. I'm going to go over the basic controls with you just because a lot of people seem to be having trouble with it, so this is also going to be a tutorial video. So to move the screen around you have to hold space, and you can use WASD or right click and drag to pan. Or left click, sorry. Left click and drag to pan. If you right click you can adjust the angle, and as you can see we're all on floating islands in the sky. That's kind of the concept of this game. If you mine too deep you will actually fall through the bottom. And to rotate the screen, you just right-click again and just pan your mouse left or right. So there's a few things you need to do to just start up the game, to get anything done at all. First, you need to start some lumberjacks cutting wood. To do that, you just head over to the lumberjack, click the lumber zone, and the lumber zone isn't currently working properly, so you just click once next to the trees. And as you can tell, that opened up a new lumber zone, which is why I didn't drag Bricktrons into it already. So I'm going to put these two into that lumber zone and they'll start automatically cutting wood. The next thing you need to do is get one person and put him into building. And this guy has to be in charge of building a bunch of stockpiles. If you have the alpha version, if you're in early alpha, you want to build the stockpiles fairly far apart, so that your Bricktrons do not get stuck inside them. So, this guy's going to be building these stockpiles, and he's going to be building them fairly far apart. Unfortunately, all the trees that I cut fell off the ledge, so I'm going to need to assign my lumberjacks to be builders. That's easy enough to do. You just take these guys, select them, and then drag them into building. Select them and drag them. Oh. Fine. Take them, select them, and drag them into building like this. And now they'll start constructing these piles for me. So then you can just take them again, take the last two builders, drag them back into being lumberjacks, and they'll get back to work. And hopefully he'll eventually get some stockpiles to build. Now, the second thing you need to do is create a mine. So just navigating around like I told you, you want to select these two, go to your main, drag them into the mining section. Now I haven't started a mine yet, so I have no idea what these two are currently doing. So I'm just going to command them to go here. Then I'm going to use the mine command to... they're somehow taking my commands from last game that I started. To choose how big my mine should be, and as you can see there it goes deep underground, everything's selected, and that's where they should be mining. So I'm going to zoom up here, readjust my camera to be a top-down view, and these guys should be getting minerals and putting them on these stockpiles. So wood and rock are your main two construction materials, and you just have to remember that kind of beginning order for things. You want to have two people being lumberjacks, one person building these stockpiles, and then later on you can readjust everything so it works out. Now these two are being very lazy now, and just kind of doing nothing. So, kind of curious as to what they're doing. Unfortunately this game is in early alpha like I was saying, so you get some pretty major bugs, like everything stopping, as it currently has, people being insanely lazy, me creating mines in the middle of nowhere, and all that stuff. So this is just my intro video on how to get started, and what you should do to get started. Jesus, I feel like an idiot now. Why is everything stopped? Music's still going, but all the Bricktrons are not happy. Ah, I know what happened. In logging, I ran out of logs in the radius that I set. So if I just set this to 14, I should be good. In mining, I have no idea what happened still. So I'm going to select these two, go over to the mine I'd planted earlier, and see what's wrong. The mine seems to have disappeared, but that's no problem. I'll just make another one. And you can use spacebar to adjust your view while you're doing this and adjust your mine in different directions after you let go of spacebar. But that should be good there. So now my 2 miners should be back to work, and my lumberjacks should be all doing their job as well. Let's see if that worked. No, that didn't work. Okay, so it wants me to keep setting this mine. See if we can solve this problem together. Cancel. Okay. So, mine. There we go. So I've also turned off the day-night cycle because I find night in this game to be very annoying. So I've deselected current tool now, and my 2 miners should be getting to work, but I'm not sure why they're doing what they're doing. They seem to be going insane. So, oh, because I still have the mining tool selected. Okay, so this is a glitch that is fairly common to the early game where you cannot deselect tools properly. But this mine seems to actually exist. That's not a mine that I want to exist, however, so I'll clear this. Go back to this mining group. Select a mine. I'm going to rotate my view here. And hopefully this will do the trick. Okay, so it created another group. That's fine with me. Just select these two, drag them into this group. Select this group, and erase it. Now my miners should be happily back to work, and yes, they are. Unfortunately, we've almost used up all the stockpiles, so I need to take this builder here and build a ton more stockpiles. And you do that easily, like I showed you before, just clicking stockpile and building them all over the place with decent amounts of space between them, because if you don't do that, it will screw up your Bictrons. They will get stuck. So this game is very, very early. It's a very, very early build. It is pre-alpha. So you really have to watch out for making sure all your pathing is good, making sure everything's well spaced, making sure Bictrons understand what's going on. Now the only unfortunate thing about my mine is I did make it fairly far away from where I wanted my castle to be. But that shouldn't be way too much of a problem. I think I have enough lumber now to construct my castle, so I'm going to take my 2 lumberjacks. Just click them here. And I'm going to cancel the logging point. Okay. I have to deselect my tool first. That's something I forget quite a bit. So you do that by right-clicking and left-clicking, then going to the back button. So I'm going to my lumberjacks, selecting both of them, dragging them over to construction here, and then I'll get started on construction of my castle. Well, the second these 2 miners are done filling at least one stockpile. Now, I find one thing very unfortunate about this game is that they don't seem to give you that many great places to start with your castle construction. So I might actually build a bridge over to this section and start my castle there. Or I might build all these supply areas into my castle. But I'll save that for next episode. This episode was just showing you how to mine, where to get started, what to do just to begin with. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.